Mhm. sophomore in the upcoming year. My favorite color is blue.
Nice to meet you.
Mine too.
I was going to say, mine's here. Thank you so much, Mala. Do you have anything to say, Carly?
Just thank you for helping me out here, the last couple of weeks at least. And I look forward to working with everybody again all the way through the year.
Great. Naomi?
It's exciting. This is our first meeting back in the new year after the regular meeting, that is. Welcome, Maddie. It's so good to see you again. She's an Odyssey of the Mind rock star, so I want to give a shout out to Maddie. And I'm also looking forward to the employee picnic. Thank you, Vanessa, for organizing that. And the DEI conference in Ithaca this weekend. Lots of good things going on, but those are a few things in the very near future that I wanted to mention. Thank you.
Thanks. Tom?
I really don't have much to say. Thank you to Deanna. I think I definitely think that we're a pretty great group of people, and I think that we work better together. And I know that we have, and we will, and I look forward to the coming year.
Thanks. I did want to mention one thing. Shen was recognized as a National School of Distinction. It is an impressive award. It's because all of our 47?
It was 32 districts.
32. All 32 of our athletic teams excelled in academics as well as in the arena of sports. And so I was very, very proud to hear that. And I wanted to make a mention. Let's see, public comments. So before I read this, is there somebody from the public who would like to speak? Seeing none. I was going to abbreviate it anyway. Superintendent's report, Dr. Robinson.
Thank you very much. And just a few things that I highlighted to the board before. There's some upcoming calendar things. We have 2 of our local representatives will be doing what they call an e-bus listening tour. And because Shen has been doing a lot of work relative to other school districts, we still have a lot of work to do. We'll be hosting that on the 15th at 8:30 at the Transportation Department. It's not going to be a large gathering, but certainly if board members are available to stop by, just kind of hear and support them, asking questions, seeing some of the things that we're doing related to e-buses. We were hoping that we were going to have our e-buses by then, but we won't for the 15th. And so, but still, we talk about some of the things that we're doing, which is an important conversation. Also, just a reminder, the summer school graduation on the 21st, 6 o'clock. So it's always an exciting opportunity if your schedule allows board members. Again, it's a short ceremony, relatively short ceremony in comparison to our typical graduation. However, it's just as significant of a ceremony as our June graduation. So certainly having board members present adds to the importance of that occasion as well. And I'm sure that Mrs. Holden will probably mention this later on. We're trying to finalize some dates around the retreat. I think Mrs. Force has heard from 4 of 7 board members already, so we're just compiling some information and then we'll circle back on what we think may or may not be able to do. And when or when we not be able to do those things that we may not be made.
Wow.
So yeah, so that says a lot without saying anything. So those are main points for right now.
Thank you so much. Moving on to our information items. District leadership is sharing information related to district goals and for us to discuss and chart a path for continuous improvement. First up is the tax levy and the warrant analysis. Will you be
Mrs. Chase.
that, or
Mrs. Chase is here, and certainly she'll address some questions. I just want to highlight a couple things. It's always important for the board and for the public when we start the budget process and we go through the budget process throughout the course of the year, we make certain estimations surrounding what we think tax rates will be. And we always say that it's probably going to be the worst case scenario. In other words, probably be better once we get actual data. And so this just gives you an indication of the tax warrant that the board would be asked to approve tonight. And that tax warrant triggers the tax bills that we generate for September to October. So you see here, one of the things that we always look at is, you know, we're part of 6 different municipalities. And so all these rates combined come out with this true value perspective. So that's been negative for quite a bit, and in many cases the increases, particular dollar increases, have been pretty slight when you look at Clifton Park, for instance, you go from $33.20 to $33.59. Relative slight increases across the board. So that's just one of those charts that we want to indicate. Another thing I want to highlight too, particularly on this chart, is the valuation of the district properties assessments is positive. Let me start there positive. It's always a good thing because when you look across many school districts across the state, valuation is going down. Even in a hot quote-unquote housing market, commercial base in many instances in a lot of communities are diminishing. We're fortunate to have a stable commercial base as well as a growing residential base, and so you see the increase here of that 7.18. Again, it's one of those things that we monitor, we try to look out, because that dictates how much the tax burden is socialized across the entire both homestead and non-homestead, commercial and residential. And so that's an important piece for us in terms of the implication for our individual taxpayers. The piece that's always the piece that we cross our fingers, because we have no control of this at all. This is by the New York State Real Property Services. They create equalization rates, and those equalization rates are designed to basically, as I said, equalize the tax impact from town to town. So it doesn't matter what the individual rates of towns are, this equalization rates comes in. And this is done based upon the full valuation. Some towns, and if you see here, the town of Malta always do a full valuation every year. And conversely, it's not a critical comment with Clifton Park and Half Moon. You see the equalization rates are significantly lower because the full valuation assessment hasn't been done. And so those rates vary based upon those factors, and those factors then go into the ultimate tax rates that we end up assessing per individual. So here you see that it doesn't matter which town you're in, it's about $1,200 for a house assessed at $100,000. So that's why equalization rates come in important. That's why those things, we always cross our fingers, because those things could vary significantly in terms of what's the implication for a particular town, and so we watch those very closely. So again, another piece that we look at too is, so we first made the full value, and then we have the taxable value, because the equalization rate then takes whatever that full value is, add that percentage to it to create a taxable value. So now the taxable value is 2.2. So if you have a $500,000 house for compensation purposes, your tax bill is on an equalization rate on a factor of that. So therefore it equalizes things as we go from year to year. So long and short of it is we're, as a system, we're living up to the commitments that we have set to taxpayers. When you think about this tax trend over the last several years, and you see the trend line is pretty flat and going down as the true valuation for all the properties of all the 6 municipalities within the school district. So that's a positive thing for taxpayers, because we're still able to provide the services that we desire to provide to our students at a favorable tax implication. So I think that's the best summary of that piece of it as well.
Can you just roll back up and just want to accentuate that year over year? I think you had it right, so people can see that.
This one?
The one right at the bottom there. Is that a year over year?
This long?
No, this. No, but up. Right there.
Right there.
Is that a year over year?
Yeah, so it's a percentage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a positive, this area, and Saratoga County in itself is, between sales tax and things of nature, is fiscally healthy community, and I think the charts here indicate that, and again, minimize or help socialize the impact of any taxes that's rendered from the schools. I don't know if anything, Kathy, you want to say? I think I said everything you were supposed to say.
I think we did.
Thanks, Kathy.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Dr. Robinson, that was really informative. The next item up is the 24-25 board presentation schedule review. I personally find this to be incredibly helpful for the new members among us. You can get a good idea of what comes when, what to expect in terms of study sessions, and if something is coming up that you are interested in or you want to know more about, you can see it on here, and if you don't see it, let us know, and then maybe we can add it. Did you want to?
Sure. Again, we won't walk through the whole thing. This is this is my internal planning document for the board, for us as administration as well. Just a couple things I want to highlight on here. Thank you very much for your acknowledgement of that. Some of the things that we do as a system is cyclical, happens every time, certain time of year, certain things. So we can predict those things, right? So those things we can predict is then how can we either, for opportunities to improve upon, we try to improve upon. For information sharing, we try to share information in advance. And to some degree, that's why our board meetings, quite frankly with you, are very smooth and seamless, because the board knows what's coming down the pike, and information is provided, either last year's version of it, so you can see what was done. So when it happens again, you have some sense, particularly for new board members, so it's not a surprise to you, so to speak. And therefore, the questions that's being asked, even in advance of the board meeting, are questions that lend to clarification. So when we come to the table, things happen relatively seamlessly. So as you see here, all these are hyperlinks. We try to hyperlink things as we go along. So this is also a document that's available on our website too. And so the public needs to know, when did we act on that? It's there. You can click on it, hyperlink it. One of the things I always point out is that I always try to highlight the date, because this update is a living document. It's not like we do it one time, it's set, it's always going to happen. Things happen. Presentation may shift because, for a wide variety of things, which this piece I want to emphasize with presentation. So for instance, I'm going to go to the month of September board meeting. That study session is what I call a study session of plans. So we have all these mandatory plans that every year as a system we have to review and update, and the board has to approve. So a lot of those happen in September. So that September study session is one presentation. So gear up, have a lot of coffee, sleep the night before. It's one presentation after another presentation after another presentation. And again, you know that as a board member, when will these presentations occur? Well, it's going to occur at this meeting. And all those presentations also, if you look here, I'm just trying to highlight, those are respective district goals. So when the Board of Education or the public wants to know, what are we doing related to the goal, the district goal of school and classroom? Well, one of the things that we're doing related to our technology integration plan. So we always try to associate the things that we do with the goals of the organization. So again, there's no wasted effort, right? So everything is always focused on the goals and how we achieve the goals and maximize our capacity as a system. So pretty much you go through, and as over the course of the year, we try to highlight different things. So for instance, in October, we're going to talk about the 75th anniversary. We only turn 75 once, right, as a school system. So we try to highlight those kind of things as we move forward. Again, just a couple of them just want to try to pull out real quick here. This is going to be a little bit different. We're going to do a 4-day K campaign. When we start, once construction start and things start to become more vibrant, because people asking, where are we with the status of, before people start asking the questions, we're going to start providing information. So anticipate those type things and provide information to the public as we move forward. Update on bus electrification is one of those kind of things. But then we'll do things like highlight certain departments within the district. So one of the things that one year we highlighted food services. One year we highlighted human resources. This year we're going to look at facilities and operations. So the reason why, particularly some of these departments that are not typically the items that come to the board for action, we want to highlight those things, because those are the things that happen behind the scene that allows the organization to run. So we try to highlight some of those type things as we move forward. And again, all those things are associated with district goals. So this kind of goes to the entire, for me it's a planning sequence, because these are the big rocks. The proverbial big rocks that we're working on as a system, and this forces us with some time frame of when do we want to ensure we get certain things done, so that we have a plan moving forward. And then we have things like this in March. There's an open opportunity for a presentation. So there might be something neat that's happening that we'll probably present to the board because we have some open slots. And I'm always cognizant of not having any board meeting too heavy, because we don't, after an hour and a half of presentations, people, quite frankly, you physically and psychologically zone out. So we don't want to do those kind of things. And also timing of what time of the year that we do certain things. Around holidays, we don't do a lot of presentation because of the situation around holidays. So I share that with the board. Then we go into the budget season, talk about the budget hearing, all those type things that people say, when will these things happen? It's outlined, but it's truly a planning document for administratively that we use to drive a lot of actions, and then to also publicly share some of the things that we're doing as a system.
I'll just add, I love the Big Rocks link. That's something I don't recall seeing in the past, but I like that because it also lays everything out. It's a more compressed timeline of everything. So
It's funny that this year, typically in the past years, it was like, I don't have one this one. It was like a list that, kind of like my internal list that I carry this little thing with me all the time. But because some of those big rocks are multi-year planning sequences, that to get those things out there now, so people are aware of, okay, these are some big rocks that we need to start planning for, considering otherwise. And so when those things are happening, they're not surprises to anyone, board or otherwise, because these are things that either we've been building towards or talking about as we move forward. So I appreciate you noticing that. Thank you.
Good eye. I didn't see that, it's good.
It was like a little hidden treasure. It's like,
Right.
what is that?
Excellent.
So let me show you what a hidden treasure is.
Yes.
Yeah, now I'm curious where it is.
Where that at the bottom, right?
I think it's at the top. There it is.
There
Yeah.
it is.
Oh,
So
wow.
and it's faded green, so you had to look
Yes.
for, you had to find it. look
Easter
to
egg.
find it.
Yes.
So if indulge me for a second, since Mr. Softman brought this up. So again,
That's good.
from my, and certainly I think the board have heard me say many times, I try to take a very measured approach to things. In other words, there's no knee-jerk reactions to things. We try to think things, put a plan in place, think about it, evaluate before we even get to execution phase, right? So when we get to execution, we're rolling. And because we've done a lot of the thinking up front, so to speak. And so we do have some big rocks come around associated with the kindergarten center, the potential sale of 5 Chelsea Place. Those are big rocks that we have to think about. COVID dollars, transition from those things, how to close out those funds, big rocks that will be done in September. So again, the timeline here is kind of some time frame force us to keep honest people honest, right? So those kind of things. And so these are some things that I put out there because you see also some time frames that we'll be bringing those conversations back to the board. So you as a board know that, okay, at some point, this conversation is going to come back to the board and we have conversation around those things. Again, take the guesswork out of certain things, but then the list is not necessarily in priority order, it's more of time frame when we think legitimately those things can in fact occur or should in fact occur. So this list it's a lot of big stuff on this list, by the way. And so, so even this last piece here, this is after we kind of figure out where we're going for the K, what's the implication of that? What does that mean when we take X amount of kids out of a particular building? What does that mean capacity-wise? Do we have to do some other things? Do we have to start planning for some of those kinds? So analysis doesn't mean doing. Analysis means just that. We're just going to analyze where are we right now, what does that mean, and then what's the plan for those type things as well. So again, I share that with you because we try not to as a system guess or have a knee-jerk reaction to things or have one of those where the wind is blowing, this is what we're going to do, versus a very strategic approach to things, yet being tactical to deal with things as they occur, but more strategic in terms of how we look to transform those challenges into opportunities. So thank you for the indulgence.
No, thank you, this is great. And you said this is available online as well as to us?
Yeah, we post it once we try to update it as much as we can, but it's available. I send out periodically to all administrators, and so because once it's updated, once you get the link, once I update, you get the update.
Yeah, it's on. Okay, great, thank you. Next up is the district level committee assignments and the school liaison assignments. So this was sent out, I'm assuming you guys have all had a chance to look at it. I already goofed once. I gave 2 of you a Brenda, and so that's been fixed. Thank you for your indulgence in that matter. But if you have any questions or comments about your assignments, I think aside from that, I think I got everybody's first choice on pretty much everything, hopefully. So hopefully everyone is pleased. So the communities are really important, and going to them and learning about them and providing a voice is essential, I think, to the working of the school. So I appreciate everyone's time because it takes a lot of time to go to some of these during the workday. So I did want to mention, for 2 sets of the committees, we do approve them. So we have a vote for the audit committee members, and we have a vote for the safety committee members. That generally happens in the 2nd meeting of August, so we're not doing that tonight. This is informational because we don't have to vote on the rest of these. But yeah, take a look, see if I missed something.
And the only thing, if you don't mind me adding, for the school assignments, if you can't go to a meeting, ask another board member. And if they're available, I'm sure that they would love to go.
Yeah.
I've done that, others have done that for me.
The PTA's not?
The PTAs, yeah. It usually goes to in the partnership, yeah.
Right.
We can certainly do that. It's, you know.
Yeah,
it has-
definitely. They just want a voice and they want
They want a
board
voice,
member
yes.
to be there, to listen. Yeah.
With Scano, I mean, I worked with Jordan Flynn last year. I mean, it conflicted a couple of times where I had to just send an update. So that would seem to be helpful. They seem to
Yeah.
appreciate it.
To send something is important, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, yes.
Acadia literally had their meeting every single time we had a board meeting.
Right.
Every single time. So I think I went to 2 all year. But what are you gonna do? But I did send updates that I think were written and then, you know, read out loud. Next up is the BOE operations manual, which is new again this year.
Credit to Mrs. Hoffman. During her presidency, we had several conversations around, we have a pretty extensive orientation, new board member orientation document that we've created over the years. And so we were having, ironically, we were having different conversations, but we were kind of coming to the same conclusion. Because NISBA, School Board Association, has a couple different documents that's out there. So the purpose of this, and certainly Ms. Hoffman, I certainly want you to chime in because a lot of this was your initial thought. And so collecting and compiling some good information for any board member and or individuals who may actually even be interested in running for a board. And so part of me sharing this now is, because there's no time frame and there's no requirement for us to do it, is for people to take a look at it and something that we can certainly link to the board page on the website. And if it changes, we can always update it. I just think it's a great resource. There's some references to some NISBA documents. And when those documents changes, obviously we'll update those things as necessary. But a lot of them stand the test of time. But this just give a good flavor of how effective boards should function. We talk about our board member committees, the engagement of board members as liaisons in school, those kind of things. So again, it's just an operations manual that we thought would be just a good resource again for other board members.
So I very much appreciate you giving me so much credit. You have authored a lot of this, and so most of it, and so I think you're just being very kind. But I appreciate it. I very much do. This document was where I was coming from was over the years. There's always something that we're talking about, and it's an Easter egg hunt to go find the thing so that we can share it out to answer a question. And it was the hope that we could put it all in one document, it's one stop. And so there are some things I had in mind after I saw this, after you shared out the updated version. You know, especially after the onboarding. I know there was a big overhaul to get it to be current because it's been a few years since we had some new board members, and that was so that's why I feel I have to give him all the credit for this. This is great. Dr. Robinson is correct. He took the NISBA links because those are more generic, more general. But there are some things very specific to our school district where you can go in and you can update the information. So it could be something like travel, because we do have to travel. We have an upcoming conference. And it could talk about training, it could talk about, which you heard a lot of about the governance piece and the financial oversight piece that you have, that's mandated training. But it can talk about the other training that happens pretty much on the same rotating schedule and how beneficial it is. What's out there so that you don't have to go hunting yourself. And I think that's just incredibly valuable. And you also, what other opportunities are available out there? Even like what I shared with, since I've been on the BOCES board, what I've learned since I've been there. And a lot of it, I think others on the board will just help them acclimate a little bit faster, or just find things a bit quicker, and hopefully lessen the burden on Vanessa and Dr. Robinson because I'm sure you're peppered with questions as these things come up, and again and again and again.
Yeah, I think it'll be a living document,
Yeah.
right? As we learn and figure out other things that will be of interest to people. So thank you, both of you. Good job. Nicely done. The next one is the updated 2024-2025 school calendar. This is not something that we do often in the fall. It's kind of exciting. Did you want me to give you an intro, or do you want to talk about it.
Okay, just give the background.
Yeah, I can give you a little bit of the background. So we, as we continue to work here in our district to really look at being culturally responsive and considering the calendar and the opportunity that we have this year that was posed, switching our superintendent's conference day that we typically have mid-March, switching that to the 31st would allow us an opportunity to observe Eid this year for the first time.
At least allow
And
students the opportunity.
the students the opportunity, yes, let me clarify, students the opportunity. And also, I was going to clarify with that too, this is for this year, this school year only at this point. Obviously, we don't know where it stands as the holiday does shift. So this year poses a unique opportunity because we do have that additional superintendent's conference day in March. So with having that and looking at our schedule, we are putting tonight for the recommended, that the modification be made to the calendar to allow the students to have that day off.
And just one piece to add, this is a certain, could be statewide, but certain regional conversation with superintendents in the capital region for sure. And many people already had that designation, and we were seeing how the implication for us, as well as how the implication for BOCES, because we try to avoid situations where students who attended the BOCES program are missing multiple days because of how calendars are established. And so a survey went around with schools within the capital region to try to understand the implications of that as well. So this change just wasn't arbitrary, say it that way. It was a very thoughtful piece of it to try to understand the implications of it. And also Superintendent's Conference Day, we always, we typically have had it on a Friday, and there's some challenges for Friday, and there's challenges for midweek. So in other words, there's a challenge for any day we have it on, to be honest with you. But we certainly want to be able to maximize it if we could do some other things, particularly in this case from a holiday we know that impacts a significant portion of our student population. It creates an opportunity for us to do it, and also aligns again with what many schools in the region are doing as well.
This is the traditional end of Ramadan, right? This is a celebration that ends and that changes year to year.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
The date fluctuates, correct.
And again, it doesn't change the number of days in the calendar, so it doesn't change the technical number of school days, just a matter of the date of the superintendent's conference day. That's the only thing we talked about.
So late graduation.
Yeah, that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So the board be asked to approve that slight modification tonight.
Right, when we get to the voting section of our show. Does anyone have any other questions? Or any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Just got really close to the mic. All right. So now we're moving on to consent items. I'm sorry, there's a page break in there. We have the treasurer's report for the month, which looks like it's one thing, but it's actually four. So within it, you have the report and revenue statement for June, the extra classroom treasurer's report for June, the food service projected profit and loss statement for June, and the appropriation status report for June. It's a lot of numbers, but I find it really helpful to have it every month. Has everybody taken a look? Any questions? Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the treasurer's report? Deanna's first, Vesta is second. All in favor? 7 in favor. Thank you. Start with the minutes. We have one set of minutes for July 9th, 2024. Even though you were there for 99% of it, you're more than welcome to approve. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes? Thomas first, Naomi is second. Any questions? All in favor? 7 in favor. That's passed. Thank you very much. And now we moved on to the second section, the action items. So this is the adoption of the 24-25 tax levy warrant. I have it here. We all have to sign it once we approve it. Start September 3rd. We're late after September 30th. and you're really, really late after Halloween. So does anyone have any comments or questions about it? Okay, all in favor of approving the 24-25 tax levy warrant?
Did
Yeah,
we
motion
motion first?
Didn't make a motion. I was so excited about taxes. Forgot about the motion part. First, Deanna. Second, Gusta. All in favor? 7 in favor, the motion passes. I'm going to sign it and then pass it around right now. And in the interim, I will start the tax certiorari settlements. We are refunding Target in the amount of $27,858 because they challenged an assessment from the 2023 school year. Does anyone have any comments or questions on that? This is a fairly common thing we do, and we have a tax cert fund specifically for this purpose. We anticipate that such things will occur during the course of the year. Would anyone like to make a motion to accept that? Tom is first. Mary Colleen is second. All in favor? 7 in favor, the motion passes. That's your first. Okay. The next one up is the capital project change order. In this case, we are updating by about $30,000 and an increase in underground water facility renovation to Chango. This is a capital project, it's been going on for a while. We discovered some additional tanks underground. You never know what you're going to find when you start digging. And we have to increase the amount by $30,000. Does anyone have any comments or questions? Can I get a motion to approve? Naomi is first, Tom is second, all in favor? 7, motion is passed. Next up, we have 2 bid extensions. Extensions mean that we have been contracting with them for a while, so we're basically doing the same thing we did last year. I'm going to do them as a group, the chartered bus service and the waste removal services. Any comments or questions?
Do we, is there another opportunity to add in programs to the charter bus list? Because it's a list of all the schools that have field trips.
So as things come up, we try to go back to those bus companies that we approved
Okay.
and check on their availability.
Okay, so it could be
Yes,
updated. Okay.
because there's a vetting process that we go through with bus companies. Not all bus companies are like, and price point is always something that we try to watch as well.
Okay.
Any other questions? Can I have a motion to approve these 2 contracts? Tom is first, Naomi is second. All in favor? 7 in favor, motion passes. Next up, we have some contracts. I'm going to highlight the first one. It's interesting. So this is a result of, I think, at least a 5-year process to determine the best method of improving visitor safety to our schools. And I think we vetted a number of companies, and we ended up with Visitor Aware. So we engaged in pilot programs at Gowanna and at Shattuckon, among others. And we decided to go with this firm. So does anyone have any comments or questions? Okay, can I have a motion to approve the ComSource Visitor Aware contract? Gusta is first, Mary Colleen is second. All in favor? 7 in favor, motion passes. Next up is IMS. We usually do these as a group. These are standard contracts that we renew from year to year. I can't say that I understand all of them, but I know they're really important. So I'd like to do as a group, ComSource, Nutanix, Incident IQ, NERC, Microsoft Licensing, and Software House International, SHI. Can I get a motion to approve all of those? Naomi is first, John is second. All in favor? 7 in favor, motion passes. So this is another fun one, the sale of the student constructed home. Every year we have a class, students build a house. This year we went through 2 bidding processes and did not get bids, but then somebody made an offer which was higher than our lowest bid offer, right? Very exciting. She lives like an hour and a half downstate though, so I don't know how she's gonna get her house home.
Good trail.
Right? But we're excited to be selling the home for $48,000. Can I get a motion to approve? Gusta's first, Mary Colleen is second. All in favor of selling our awesome house? 7 in favor, the motion passes. Next up, we have special education. This is a contract for access therapy. Tom is first, Naomi is second, all in favor? 7 in favor, motion passes. The next one is the, right, special education. Oh, I lost my note. I've seen it. There it is. St. Coleman's House, thank you so much. St. Coleman's House Incorporated, does anyone have a motion to pass the contract? Tom is first, Carla is second. Comments or questions? All in favor? 7 in favor, motion passes. Next up is We Video, Play Pause It. I know my kids use this a lot at school. I'm sure yours do too, or they will, Tom. Any comments or questions? Okay, can I get a motion? Naomi is first, Carla is second, all in favor? 7 in favor, motion passes. Wilson Language Training is another contract. Any comments, questions on that one? Can I get a motion to pass the Wilson Language Training? Deanna is first. Anything else? Second, oh, Gus is right there. Settled. Gus is second. All in favor? 7 in favor, motion passes. The last one in the section is the NERC quote, Aruba switches and licenses. Any comments? Would you like to make a motion?
Yeah,
Naomi,
make a motion.
yeah, make a motion. Carla is second. All in favor? 7 in favor, motion passes. Okay, this is always a fun one. Scholarships and local grant donation. We have several of the usual suspects in here, which is fantastic. And we also have Menlo Micron and Momentive, both of which donated specifically for First Lego League. I know, very exciting, Naomi, which is lovely. Can I get a motion to accept all of these donations with gratitude? Naomi is first, absolutely. Carla is second. All in favor? 7 in favor, motion passes. And then we have the approval of the updated school calendar, which we previously discussed. Would somebody like to make a motion? Deanna is first. Mary Colleen is second. All in favor of switching that to March 31st? 7 in favor. The motion passes. Mrs. Mylock,
Good
welcome.
evening. You have before you the recommendations from the committees on preschool and school-age special education. Any questions?
Can I have a motion to approve the acceptance of special education placements? Deanna is first. Carla's second, I'm sorry. Carla's second, I got her first. All in favor? 7 in favor, thank you. Motion passes. Personnel.
Okay, good evening. You have several appointments in front of you tonight. There are a couple that I would like to point out. They're here with us tonight in the audience. We have Julia Eck, who's going to be our school psychologist. Rachel Mann, academic administrator for special education. Robin Pelletier, high school class assistant principal. And Clarissa Ryan, who is filling in a term position for social studies. I didn't miss anyone.
Welcome, everyone.
Great. So I'm guessing after we go through the approval, we'll invite them up.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Also wanted to point out in our staffing agenda our retirements. So in total, we have 52 years of service with the district. We have Ann Corzin, who has retiring after 10 years, August Quayle Jr., who's retiring after 18 years, and Kathleen Scoville after 24 years of service.
Amazing. Thank you, everyone, for your service. It's always so appreciated. It's always amazing to me how much people love and give to the Shen community. It's fantastic. Can I get a motion to approve the recommendations for staffing? Gus is first. Naomi is second. All in favor? The motion passes with 7. Congratulations, everyone. Come up and shake our hands if you want.
Fist.
Come on.
A fist bump, yeah, perfect.
Do you want us, we could just start over here and go right around and just introduce yourself as you go around.
Congratulations.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Congratulations.
Thank
You guys for
Good luck.
Congratulations.
Nice to meet you.
So does that motion for all three of those items?
Yes.
Okay,
That was all together.
all three, okay, that's what I'm saying.
That was all three.
Oh, you mean summer work on the other one?
Yes.
I actually did not do summer work.
Okay, that's fine, that's what I clarified.
Yeah, so if you could do summer work.
Sure.
Yeah.
So also in front of you, you have two other items. I don't know if we want to do them separate or together, but
Together's fine.
transportation summer work and the SPED ESY summer program support staff.
It makes sense to do them together because it's, so can I get a motion to approve the transportation summer work and the ESY summer program? Deanna's first, Gus's second. All in favor? 7 in favor. Motion
Thank you.
passes. Thank you. That's awesome.
Support staff, isn't it?
Probably.
Yeah.
Or did I do something?
No, no,
Sharon?
no.
No.
Okay, great.
That's why the name of person
Made a
is on.
motion
Well, the kids
to support our children.
I will always approve that motion. Support our children. Has anyone arrived from the public that wishes to comment that wasn't here earlier? Seeing none, the public comments section is been closed. For the good of the order, I just want to say I am thrilled to be here and to work on behalf of Shen. This is a lot of fun, but it's hard work, and I hope to do as well as I can and, be of service to all of you guys. If you have any questions or issues or anything, please feel free, let us know. Does anyone else have to go to the order? Tom? Yeah, no?
I just wanted to say, I think it's so exciting to drive around the campus. Even if you miss a couple of days, you see such changes on the campus. There's so much going on, and it's exciting to see that. We're such a forward-thinking place, so it's exciting.
I agree, thank you.
I just want to give a shout out, a great meeting, thank you.
Oh, excellent, yeah. Good to be here.
Nice job.
Thank you guys so much.
I have one thing, I just want to add to your big rocks, will be sometime for you to give us more information on Foundation 8 and what that's going to look like. And
I'm sure after November.
yeah, that's crazy. And cell phones, to watch that whole piece,
Yeah.
right?
It's true,
Watching it closely.
lots of discussion, absolutely. Thank you. All right, can I, 7:10 PM, can I get a motion to, yes, Tom's first, this is the moment I miss Jason's.
He motions, he starts the whole
He's the
process.
first thing. All in favor? Motion passes with 7. Thank you guys very much. I get to
Thank you.
use this.
Good job. Everybody can turn off your microphones.
Thank you.